Hello, and welcome to Around the Political World with John Rothman. I am John Rothman. If you're a fan of the show, make sure to hit the follow button on the top right of Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you are listening at this very moment. When you hit follow, leave a review or share an episode with a friend. It helps other people discover the show, keeps us going, and as I like to remind you each and every day, it expands our base. The House Republicans, well, we have to talk about what they're doing on so many levels. First, let's begin with Dr. Fauci and his interrogation yesterday by Republicans in the House. Did you listen as Marjorie Taylor Greene wouldn't call him Dr. Fauci, only Mr. Fauci? And finally, the chairman of the committee said, he's a doctor. You got to call him a doctor. Did you listen while members of the Republican Party, including the former White House physician, Dr. Jackson, blasted Dr. Fauci, accusing him of everything you could ever imagine? I listened to Ronnie Jackson's interrogation. I couldn't believe that a member of Congress would act in that fashion. But I'll tell you what really impressed me was Dr. Fauci, who answered every criticism, every claim, every distortion, matter-of-factly, and I would add with an almost passionate view of making sure that we heard the truth. This is one of the most interesting moments that I've ever watched in Congress. And by the way, 3 cheers for Fox. I watched the whole hearing on Fox. I watched it. I listened to every word because I was so horrified by what Fox was doing. Please note, I don't call it Fox News. Fox and news is an oxymoron. When you listen to the commentary by Fox commentators and news deliverers about Dr. Fauci's testimony, it was so anti-Fauci, there was no objectivity at all. It is a shame. And now, this morning, Merrick Garland, the Attorney General of the United States, is going to testify before another House committee. And the Republicans are loaded for bear. They're going to go after him tooth and nail. And what makes it so interesting is that, believe it or not, some Republican members of Congress are actually accusing the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the FBI, of being involved in the insurrection on January 6th. What the Republicans in Congress are doing, it's nuts. Actually, years ago, a book was written about the Republican Party called The Party That Lost Its Head. I'm going to tell you that without any question, the Republicans in the House of Representatives, well, they've lost their head. They've lost their ability to navigate American politics. They've become so partisan that there is no room for any sense of decorum. And no sense, by the way, of what the truth means. This is very disturbing because, frankly, as somebody who has studied the House of Representatives and who understands the leadership of the House, it is shocking. And the fact that Speaker Johnson tolerates this, encourages this, wants Republicans in the House to go after Dr. Fauci, to go after Merrick Garland, to go after what happened on January 6th, as if it were the fault of the FBI, it is, to me, it's a step down for American democracy. It means, and I say this with some regret, that the minority or the majority, whether Republicans are in minority or majority, seem not to grasp the importance of what they're doing. The other thing that really bothered me was the repetitive, inaccurate information. And even when that inaccurate information was presented so that you could understand it was inaccurate, the Republicans dismissed it. It was as if facts didn't matter. Why does this concern me so much? It concerns me because I want a party, whether they are in control of the House or whether they are the minority, to act responsibly. All of you know that I love history. I prefer the days when the Democratic leader was Sam Rayburn, and the Republican leader was Joseph W. Martin. And the two of them had breakfast together, lunch together, dinner together on regular occasions, and they figured out what they could agree on. And, well, they respected each other. May I say, with sincere regret, with a deep sense of sadness, that I have no respect for the Republicans in Congress. At least the ones who spoke out about Dr. Fauci, the ones who are attacking Merrick Garland, the ones who are pursuing what they seem to be pursuing, which is a path of burn and destroy. They don't care about the truth. And that should bother us all. This hearing yesterday, where I listened to Marjorie Taylor Greene and to Dr. Ronnie Jackson, the congressman from Texas, and what I've heard this morning in the preliminary analysis of what Merrick Garland is going to confront, tells me there is something wrong among the Republicans. And that saddens me. I don't want a Republican Party that is destructive. I want a Republican Party that is constructive. And that is the situation that we now confront. I raise it with deep regret. I believe that a true functioning majority and minority who can cooperate, who matter deeply to American democracy, and what we saw put on display in the House of Representatives yesterday and this morning, and yes, by the Speaker of the House, well, it hurts America. It hurts our American institutions. Maybe what bothers me the most is that the truth doesn't seem to matter. Truth matters to me. And let me conclude by saying the attacks on Dr. Fauci, which have been repeated and horrific, including his family, including his 3 daughters, the attacks on Dr. Fauci, which were amplified yesterday by the Republicans, just are beyond comprehension. It would seem that they blame Dr. Fauci for COVID, for the Wuhan lab, for everything. They blame him for stripping America of civil liberties. When what Dr. Fauci did, and he admitted not always using the best methods, he said, we were in the middle of a crisis. We had to act. Maybe we should have done it differently, but at the moment it seemed the right thing to do. He was attacked for the fact that Americans lost their jobs, that schools were closed, that people wore masks. He was attacked for everything. And it appears to me that to the Republicans, the truth doesn't matter. So my indictment today and my distress today is against Republicans in the House of Representatives who seem not to care about the truth. And if, as seems to be the case, they are going to inject the idea of a conspiracy by the FBI to incite what happened on January 6th, well, that will be the ultimate demise of this leadership of the Republican Party in my mind. The American people have to make a choice on November 5th. It's not just about a president. It's also, my friends, about the future of the House of Representatives. I hope that the lessons we have learned in the last few days, and frankly over a period of time, will convince Americans what we need is a Democratic majority. Because the current Republican leadership, well, they're doing damage to America, damage to democracy, and to be very blunt with you, I hope they lose. Thanks for tuning into another episode of Around the Political World. I am John Rothman. Make sure to follow along and let me know your thoughts on the show by leaving a review on Apple Podcasts and sharing an episode with a friend or colleague so we can continue to grow and expand. That is our goal. And of course, you can interact with me on Facebook or LinkedIn. My special appreciation and thanks to the wonderful producer of this podcast, Gogo Zoger. She makes sure every day that it's posted, up and running, so we can continue to discuss the issues that face us all. I am John Rothman, and you are listening to a very important podcast today, and I'll see you tomorrow.